going to talk about cardio exercise. And the top questions about cardio exercise are, what is it? Why do I have to do it? How much do I have to do? And what happens if I don't do it? So let's answer all four of those questions. First of all, cardio exercise is the only way you can exercise your heart. You can't pick up a weight in your hand and do bicep curls and really exercise your heart. You might be pumping just a little bit of more blood through your heart because you're contracting the bicep, but that's not exercise for your heart muscle. And what people forget is that your heart is a muscle, and it can get weak just like any other unexercised muscle can. So if you don't do bicep curls, you might have weak biceps because you don't lift any weights with your arms. So you may put your hand on your arm and say, well, that's just a weak, thin muscle. Well, your heart can be the same way. And if you don't exercise your bicep muscle, what's the result? That result is just that you have weak arms. That means that you can't pick up something that's very heavy. Well, that's not too bad of a result of not exercising. But if you don't exercise your heart, it's a totally different story, because you're not going to die if you have a weak arm. But people do die if they have weak hearts. And that's why exercising your heart is so important. It's your heart that keeps you alive. And so I want you to realize this, that this is really, it's a totally different story. You cannot do weightlifting and just be thin and weak, and you're probably not going to keel over tomorrow. But if you never, ever keep your heart healthy, if you never, ever exercise your heart's not going to last very long. And so exercising your heart is important. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I pulled this article called Top 10 Cardio Exercises off of About.com. I really like About.com. It's a good website. You can go there and just go to About.com, and then you can just type in anything at the top. So I think I typed in cardio fitness or cardiovascular exercise, something like that, and I just got more articles than I could have read that day. And so this is one of them that I like the best. And I want to go down through here and make sure you guys know that there are a variety of cardio exercises that you can do. You don't have to just walk or run. There are many other options that you have. And so let's go down through some of these. Now, first of all, running is that's definitely cardio exercise, okay? But I don't really agree with that first sentence that says running is one of the best activities you can do. Running actually causes more injuries than a lot of other types of exercise, especially because many people choose to run outside on the sidewalk on hard cement, and it's very hard on their heels, it's hard on their knees. In fact, my husband used to do it, and he's 46 years old, and this year he finally said, I'm not running outside anymore. In fact, a few times last summer, it gets really hot here in the summer in Tampa, and we have a lot of humidity too, and he came in from running, and he was so sweaty, I mean, just more than dripping. He looked like he'd been in a swimming pool, and he was red, his face was red, and I said, you know what, I don't want you to do that anymore, because you're out there alone, and you're not that young anymore, and you could have a heart attack, and you would be out there on the sidewalk, and nobody would know. And it just scared me, because, it's much better if you're going to keel over to be at the YMCA, right? And so he has chosen now to do his running at the Y, and obviously he's, like we were talking about just a few minutes ago, he's been taking my son David up to the Y with him, and now David is old enough, according to their guidelines, to lift weights in the weight room as long as he has an adult with him, because he's 13. And so now he goes in and lifts weights with my husband, so they kind of work out together.